Hey everybody, Shawn, webpianoteacher.com here. Today we're doing a great song, Wouldn't It Be Good by Nick Kershaw. It's a live version. You can find it on YouTube. I think it says 80s Classic Live or something like that. Anyway, let's get going here. This is a really cool song. A lot of guitar in it, but I transcribed that guitar part for the piano. So here we go. Let's take a listen. And there's more. That's just the first line. We're going to do all 3 lines of the first page. Well, everybody, welcome to my web piano teacher lessons. Been doing this for 20 years. If you like this lesson, you can finish it on webpianoteacher.com for just $1, 7 days free, $1 trial to try the website out. Everything I put on there, you'll have access to. You can download my sheets as well. And if you like this, you like a lot of other classic rock stuff I've done. So we start off with a C chord. It's always good to know what chord you're on, okay? Don't just be a note machine and you don't know what chord you're playing. There's only a few chords, and once you learn them, you'll always have them for every song. So we start with G, C, E in the right hand, okay? My middle finger's on middle C. So then we have our 5th finger on E, our thumb on G. That's a C chord, okay? Here's a C chord in just root position, C, E, G. Well, if you take that G and you bump it down, doesn't change the quality of the chord, the name of the chord. It's a different inversion, but the ingredients are the same, C, E, G, okay? So when you see the pattern of C, E, G anywhere in your music, your brain goes, boom, immediately, C, E, G. You know it's a C chord, and it's going to make sense to you. The left hand's going to be the root of the chord. So 2 C's there, C octave, C on the 5th finger, C on the thumb. Okay, and we start with ba, ba, ba. So that little guy right there, that little 7-looking thing, is called an 8th rest. Now, the rests are really important in music. Sometimes if you don't put that rest in there and you just go, you got to hear the separation. So you need a little daylight between those chords. So these rests are very important. Don't disregard them. All right, that's called an 8th rest. 3 and 4 and. So the first part of count 4 is rest. 3 and 4 and. I'm starting on 3 because it's an incomplete measure that we start with. 3 and 4 and. Okay? A lot of times songs will start with incomplete measures. Now we're going to go down to a B flat chord, okay? Now just like C had C, E, G, a B flat chord will have B, D, F. The B's flatted, but it's B flat, D, F, okay? Now, like I said before, it doesn't have to go in that order as long as it has that ingredients. B flat on the middle finger, D on the 5th finger, F on the thumb, B flat octave in the bass, so, okay? If you find that this lesson gets too difficult for you, it's not that you're stupid, you don't have any talent, you can't do it, you're no good. That's not true. You're just trying something that's too hard for your level at this moment. There are lots of easier songs you can find on my website. You can play a ton of those, work up to where you can play this. But that's the biggest mistake people make, is overreaching what they're able to do. And I think because they can just play the little bit of a hard song that, oh, I'll be able to play all of it, then immediately you run into a brick wall and say, oh, I can't do it. All right, stay in your lane. Okay to challenge yourself a little bit, but not a bunch. Okay? So there's our first 3 chords. C, C, B flat, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ba, ba. Now this is just the guitar at the beginning, okay? I grabbed my bass notes from later on in the song when they repeat it so that we can have some bass with it, because it wouldn't sound just good to do this right on the piano. We gotta have some bass in there. All right, so now we're going to do, it looks like a B flat chord in the right hand here. If you just look at the right hand, B flat, D, F. But the bass note matters too. It's got a G in the bass, so that changes it from a B flat chord to a G minor 7, because a lot of chords will overlap. And some of the same letters you'll have in one chord, you'll have in another chord. G, B flat, D, then that F is there too. So it's 4 notes in that chord instead of just 3. And it's a G minor. There's the G minor part, G, B flat, D. The F is the 7th that completes the chord. I have an A in parentheses because later on they go Okay, so I'm just putting that parentheses in case you want to put it in early, but I'm going to not put it in yet. And let's see what fingering. I'm using 2, 4, 5. A lot of you are going to say, well, that's weird. That doesn't feel right. That's fine. Use 1, 3, 5 if you want. I'm going to use 2, 4, 5. There's the rest. 3 and 4 and. Now I'm back on the chord I started with, the C chord. C in the bass, G, C in the right. Now what you do after you've kind of worked on those two measures individually is now you want to put them together. Okay, do it like a chain. You're just building one chain at a time. If one chain isn't strong enough, you try the next one, it's going to break. Okay, so now you know two measures. Now let's put them together and do some repetitions on those. 2, 3, and 4, and you can see I'm playing other notes that aren't there. It's not other notes. It's the same notes I just played. I'm just playing them again. It's called vamping. I'm just playing a rhythm to the chord I'm already playing. And you say, well, I don't know how to do that. It sounds really difficult. It's not really difficult. It's a skill you learn. And then once you learn that skill, you don't ever have to learn it again. You can do it on everything you play. I have a course on my website called I've Got Rhythm, Volumes 1 and 2. It'll show you how to vamp with fun songs. And you have access to that too if you do that $1 7-day deal. So I recommend those two courses, Volumes 1 and 2, if you're having trouble with vamping. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. And then we have this again, what we started. So that's great. Music repeats. And so that repeats too. So these two measures are just like these two. Okay, so a lot of times you'll learn something in a song, and you know some of the other parts of the song because music repeats. Now we do this again. And it does it a third time, okay? And again, you can put the A if you want. If you're feeling a little frisky one day and you want to just put an A in there on the top early, because we are going to put it in on purpose later. So now you practice the whole first line. 1, 2. Line. Like I said, this is a long part 1. Sorry guys, I can't put the whole thing on YouTube for free. It's the way I make a living. And nobody would pay anything if I did it all for free. And you don't make really squat just doing the YouTube thing. So yeah, that's why I have to put it all on the website, in case you were wondering that. So it's not me trying to withhold something from you because I'm mean. It's just, you know, the way I pay the bills. Here's the next chord, and it sounds kind of weird. Until you put it in context. If you go, wait, what's the one right before that? Da, da, da. Okay, I played the wrong one. Then it sounds okay. So some chords you play and take out of context. You go, oh, that doesn't sound very good. Yeah, it does it out of context, but once it keeps moving, it'll sound just fine. So you have B flat, E, G on the right. Wondering what chord that is. It's an E, G, B. The B is flatted. It's a diminished E chord, E, G, B flat. Okay? Left hand's on an A. All right, so you have A in the bass, and yes, A is not really part of that chord. I guess you could theoretically try to make it part in some theoretical fashion, but I just like to think of E diminished on top of an A bass. And then we go to D minor. So a D minor chord has D, F, A. In fact, any D chord has the letters D, F, A. Did you know that? You can take a D major chord, a D minor, a D diminished, D flat, D sharp, you know, whatever you want to do. But the letters will always be named D, F, A. And you got to put the appropriate flats or sharps in there. But a D chord always has D, F, A. Okay, always look for that letter combination. D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F. Those are all chord families. Okay. Then I hold that D minor there, and I'm just going to vamp. No, and that's when he's just going down on the guitar, and he's kind of chucking and still playing the same chord he's on. Well, we can do that on piano too. And I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So I go ba, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. again, okay? All right, so after you do that, I've got rhythm volumes 1 and 2. You'll have no trouble just vamping right there. All right, then we do something a little different, but sort of the same rhythm, and sort of the same chords. C, E, G on the top, but, excuse me, left hand has an F. Get a drink. There we go. So you could call that an F9, F major 9, but I'd rather think of it as C chord on the top, C, G, F on the bass. It's kind of a simple way to look at it. Okay, so ba, ba, and then we have B flat, D, F on the right, left hand on a B flat octave. Okay, so if I start up there, I had da, 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 and then I have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, ba, ba. One of those chords you play and go, is that right? But in context, it sounds just fine. Now we finally do have that A on purpose. B flat, D, F, A, 1, 2, 3, 5, left hand on a G. G minor 9 is what I'd call that. G, B flat, D, F. There's your 7th of the chord. The 9th is that next note. So it's a 5-note chord. Very lush chord. G minor 9. And so we keep the fullness by doing a 4-note chord here in the right hand. It's just a C, E, G. But we double the G. 2 G's doesn't matter. It's still a C chord. Left hand on a C. So we have, don't forget your rest. And 1, 2. Okay? So what do we do? We go back and put it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2. So this is the same thing as that. So you already know it. This is the same thing as that. So make sure you're doing your repetitions when we do this. So as I'm teaching this, I'm not doing, 10, 15, 20 repetitions on a couple of measures because I need to move on and teach you the next thing. But you should be pushing pause on your video. On the website, you can slow down the video so you can see what I'm doing in slow motion. The videos are in 4K, so it's really still pretty clean, and you can see what's going on at a slower tempo if you need that. But you need to do repetitions on small sections and then make those small sections into larger sections, then do repetitions on those larger sections. And then you go to the next line, and pretty soon the repetition you're doing is the whole page, and you're building something that way, bit by bit, brick by brick. It's the best way that I've found to practice. I haven't found any better way. Okay, so that whole second line, if we start with the measure up there. Third line of music. I like these sheets that I use because they just have 3 systems, and that's a good amount for a page instead of 6 systems or something like that. It's too much. You feel like you've done something, accomplished something after one page. So this is what we've done already. Again, the C, E, G, the F and the bass. We've already done this, the G minor 9. And guys, call out the chords. You need to remember, and since this is so repetitive, it's good chord practice to just call them out. C chord, B flat, G minor 9, C. Now something different, but it's not really different. I'll play a little more. Continue, but wouldn't it be good? The hook of the song. So that's what comes in there. This is different, but not really. It's remember the E diminished. Now it's in root position instead of an inversion. It's just E, G, B flat. Left hand's on an A, 2 of those. Then we do go to D minor, D, F, A on the right, D octave on the left hand. 1, 2. rhythm is right there. So we have 1, 2. Okay, again. If it's too hard to make the jump from A to D, you can go, just put a 2 finger on the A. You can just go da, 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 to octave, makes it a lot easier. Okay, so da, 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 wouldn't it? Let's look at the right hand. G, C, E, 1, 2, 4. 5th finger on the F. Okay, left hand's F, F, B flat. So you have 2 things going on. You have the melody, and you have this bass part. Da, da, ba. And after you play that C and B flat together, you're going to keep holding that B flat as you do F, B flat, D in the right. 1, 3, 5. C. I was playing that too early. That chord goes on the 2nd G octave. It's B flat, D, F, A. We've played that several times already. So G, and then when you play the second one, then you play the chord. Then we play the C on the left hand, and then the right hand's going to change, I think, when we get to the 2nd page. All right, so if we just start right here. Do, 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 do. Okay. All right, so now we do what I call the playthrough. We're going to play it all the way through. So after you do all your repetitions, each measure, 2 measures, 4 measures, a whole line, 3 lines, a whole page, then you want to get to where you're practicing the whole page. And that's why I do the playthrough, so that you can hear the whole page. Okay, so let's do that right now. I'm going to zoom out so I don't have to scroll. I can see everything at once. All right, and you can print these sheets out, and the sheets you get are the exact sheets that I have written out. These are all handwritten. All the sheets in this whiteboard style are handwritten sheets that I've done over the past 20 years. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Page 2. Many more pages to go. Guys, we'll finish it all on webpianoteacher.com. Learn the whole song, download the sheets, have a lot of fun, then learn some other songs and just have a fun time with music for the rest of your life. Why not? That sounds like a plan. All right, see you guys later.